Hello everyone. So today we are learning how to convert a recurring decimal into a fraction. Very important concept. This is usually it first appears somewhere in IGCSE ninth, you can say, but its application you will find in IB, in SL mostly. Sometimes the usage can be there in HL also. So it's a very important concept. We need to see how we can convert a recurring decimal into a fraction. Now, let's first question is what is a recurring decimal basically? So a question like, for example, 0.7 bar is called a recurring decimal because it actually can be written as 0.7777 dot. So it will be continuously going like that. Interestingly, it is a rational number also. Why? Because by the definition of a rational number, it is a P by Q format where Q is not equal to 0. So this is the definition of a rational number, which means 0.7777 can also be written in this format. Interestingly, it is definitely a non-terminating decimal. It is a non-terminating decimal, but the beauty is the number is same number is repeating. So it is repeating continuously. So a non-terminating decimal, but if it is repeating, can be called a rational number. So this means it is possible to convert it into a rational number format, which is P by Q. So this is what we are going to see today, how we can convert this. But the most important thing is similar method which will be used to convert this type of recurring decimal. Every time same method is used for other type of questions also. The complexity of the question will increase by introducing different types of numbers here. Maybe when only one single digit is repeating, maybe more than one digit is repeating, maybe a mixed type of decimal is there when some number are non-repeating at all while others are repeating. So different type of questions will be there, but every time the method will be same. So the interesting thing is we need to learn how to convert one single method, and then we can utilize the same every time. So let's see. This is the simplest one where only a single digit is repeating. So either you write it this way or you can write the same thing as 0.7777 this way. Now we can see that only one single digit is repeating here. So the method goes like this. If you have only one single digit is repeating, you need to multiply both the sides by 10. So in equation 1, I am multiplying both sides by 10. So obviously it becomes 10x on the left side, and on the right side, since I am multiplying by 10, so as per the rule, the decimal will shift one place towards this side. So decimal should become now 7.7777 and so on. And please remember, it does not matter how many 7, I mean the 7 has shifted to this side, doesn't matter to this side on the right side now, because on the right side there are infinite repeated numbers coming in, so it will not at all impact this in any way. So this is equation 1, this is equation 2. We have multiplied by 10. Why we multiplied by 10? Because there was only one single digit repeating. Now we will subtract equation 2 from equation 1. So I'm subtracting equation 2 from equation 1. Obviously equation 1 is 10x minus x, while on the right side we have 7.777 going up to infinity minus 0.777 going up to infinity. So if you carry out this operation, you will see 9x is equal to only 7 is left here. Why? Because it is 7.777 dot up to infinity, and this is 0.777 dot up to infinity. So if you subtract it, obviously you are only left with 7.000 up to infinity. So it is basically 7 is left. Hence x is equal to 7 upon 9. So you can see the recurring decimal 0.7 bar has been converted in the form of 7 by 9, which is a rational number because it can be easily written in the form of P by Q, where definitely your Q is not equal to 0. So for this conversion, we have seen the first question, which was very easy because only one single digit was repeating. Now let's see a different variation of that. We have a number where two digits will be repeating. For example, 0.13 bar. So, or the same thing, sometimes in the exam it can be written like this also, 0.13, and two dots will be placed like that. They are the same thing. So the logic will remain same, exactly similar method we will use here. So it can be written as 0.13, 13, 13, and so on, because 13 is repeating right now. So that's my equation number 1. Same logic as we did in the previous case. You can see after decimal there are two repeating numbers, two repeating digits are there. But remember, it is immediately after decimal. In the previous case also, when we were doing 0.7 bar, the previous example that we just did, it was 0.7 bar. So you can notice the repeating number is immediately after the decimal. Same is here. The repeating number 13 is immediately after the decimal. This is very important thing. I will again make a use of this little later, but please understand the repeating numbers must be immediately after the decimal. So it is 0.131313, and we can see after the decimal there are two digits are repeating. So since there are two digits repeating, definitely I should multiply it by 100. So I'm multiplying both sides by 100. So on the left side you are left with 100x is equal to, on the right side is 13.131313, the same way we were doing it in the previous case. So that's your equation number 2. After multiplying it by 100, decimal shifted to two places to that side because this time two zeros were there and we had this equation. Again the same logic, you will do equation number 1 subtracted from equation number 2. So 100x minus x will give me 99x, and on this side 13.1313 and 0.1313, if you subtract, you are only left with simple 13, and hence x is equal to 13 upon 99, which you have written in a fraction format, or you can say it is in the rational number format, which is p by q, where obviously q is not equal to 0. And it was possible to write in this way because though it was a non-terminating decimal, but it was repeating. So non-terminating but repeating decimal can easily be written in the rational number format. So that's the second variation of the same concept that we have seen. Now let's make it little more difficult, and now three digits should be repeating. So I can write x is equal to 0. Let's say 1 2 3. So it is simple, 1 2 3 repeating. It can be written this way, or it can be written as 0.123 dot dot dot, or sometimes in the exam it can be written like this also, 0.123, a dot on top of 1 and dot on top of 3. This means the repetition starts from 1 and it ends at 3. So this means 1 2 3 is continuously repeating. Remember, in exam any of these formats can be asked, especially in IGCSE. The last two are very important. They can ask in any one of the format. Again, as per the logic, after decimal the repetition starts, point number 1, and point number 2, there are three digits this time. So obviously I should be multiplying it by 1000. So it is 0 point, obviously 1 2 3, and then 1 2 3, and then 1 2 3, and so on. It goes up to infinity. So that's my equation number 1. And as per the rule we have just seen, I should multiply it by 1000 because there are three digits which are repeating after decimal right now. And if you do that, you are left with 1000x is equal to 123.123, and so on. So that's your equation number 2. As usual, something which we did every time, the same thing, 2 minus 1. If I subtract, I am getting 999x is clearly 123. So the fraction is coming out as 123 divided by 999. So I have converted a recurring decimal into a fraction or a rational number format, p by q. So these are these three different variations we have seen. Now let's go for a fourth type of question where we will make it little more complex. Let's say we have the number as now 0.25, and interestingly only 5 is repeating. So how to handle these type of questions? So it is x, suppose x equal to 0.25. Now remember the rule which I was repeating every time, that the repetition must start immediately after the decimal. But if you look at this number, first 2 is coming and then repetition starts. If I write it properly, it can be written as 0.2 and then 5 5 5 5. Basically 5 is repeating, but before 5 starts repeating, there is an extra number 2. So what should we do before we actually apply the previous method? We should try to shift this decimal over here so that the similar rule that the repetition starts immediately after the decimal can be applied here also. So for that purpose, what I'm doing is I am first multiplying it by 10, because after decimal you can see only one digit is there. So both the sides I'm multiplying by 10. So 10x equal to, now it is 2.5555. So 5 is repeating continuously, or it can be written now as 2.5 bar. So you can see the repetition now starts immediately after the decimal. So it is meeting the criteria. So that's our equation number 1. Now, if you remember what we did in these type of cases where the only one single digit was repeating immediately after the decimal, we multiplied by 10. So I'm multiplying this equation by 10. So 10x multiplied by 10 gives you 100x, and 2.5555 multiplied by 10 will give you 25.555, and it will be repeated continuously. So that's my equation number 2 now. So obviously same method, you will say 2 minus 1. If I say 2 minus 1, 100x minus 10x gives me 90x, and on this side it is 25 minus 2 will give me 23. So obviously answer should be x is equal to 23 upon 90. 23 upon 90 is my answer, which is in the fraction form, a recurring decimal written in the fraction form, or in the rational number format, which is p by q. So what was the logic here? You noticed after decimal there was one non-repeating and then the repetition starts. So as per the rule, first we should try to bring the non-repeating number on this side so that the same condition which was the repeated number should immediately start after that should come here. So exactly the same way we did it. By multiplying 10, 2 shifted to this side and you had 5555. Repetition starts immediately after the decimal. And after that it was very easy the way we solved the previous questions. It was exactly the similar one, since one single digit was repeating. So we multiplied by 10 and then we subtracted to get this answer. Okay. Let's see one more variation of the similar concept. Suppose now we have a question something like x is equal to 0.617. Interestingly, the bar is on 17. So this means there is one non-repeating number and then there are two digits which are repeating. So very clear this is. So what I will do first, I will try to put my decimal from here to here before I apply the usual method of conversion of a recurring decimal into a fraction. So to bring this decimal from here to here, I should multiply it by 10. So if I'm multiplying it by 10, it gives me 10x is equal to 6.171717 dot. Or you can say it was the same thing as 6.17 bar. Now, after decimal, there are two digits which are repeating. So I will have to multiply it by 10. So I can say 10x is equal to, so I have to multiply by 100, sorry. So it is 6.171717 is already there. That's my equation number 1. Two digits are repeating, so I'm multiplying it by 100. So this gives me 100 into 10 gives me 1000. So it is 1000x is equal to 617 on this side, because when you multiply by 100, two digits will shift, decimal will shift two digits here. So it is 617 point, after that similar 171717 will continue the same way. So that is your equation number 2. Again the same method, we will say 2 minus 1, and when we do that, 1000 minus 10 is 990x is equal to 617 minus 6 will give you 611. That's why only x is coming out as 611 divided by 990. In the exam, you probably will have to check whether it is in the most simplified form or not, because in either case, IG or IB, the answer must be given in the most simplified form. So that is your conversion of this recurring decimal into a fraction format, or you can say in the rational number format. So that's all. This is what we learned today, how a recurring decimal can be converted into a fraction. So keep revising these things because this is very important concept. You will see it many times in IZ, in IB. So you have to be very clear about it. All right. So that's all for today. Thank you.